The night I asked my neighbor what to wear on a date, I thought I was asking a simple question. I had no idea that within minutes my entire life would be turned upside down. Because when she looked at me, really looked at me, her eyes filled with frustration, pain, and something deeper that I had somehow been too blind to notice for years. And then she said the words that changed everything. "Are you blind? I love you." Before we dive into this story, take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel if you believe that kindness, second chances, and unexpected love can change a life. Stories like this remind us that sometimes the person meant for us has been right beside us all along. My name is Marcus Hale, and for the last 3 years I had lived in a quiet neighborhood in Portland, Oregon. It was the kind of street where the mailman knew everyone's dog by name and porch lights stayed on late at night. After my divorce, I moved there hoping for peace, hoping to rebuild a life that had fallen apart faster than I could understand. The house next to mine belonged to Rachel Carter. Rachel was the kind of neighbor people hope for but rarely get. She watered my plants when I traveled for work. She brought soup when I had the flu. She once shoveled my driveway at 6 in the morning during a snowstorm before I even woke up. At the time, I thought she was just kind. Looking back now, I realize she was something much more. But when your heart has been broken once, sometimes you build walls so high you can't see what's right in front of you. My marriage had ended painfully. My ex-wife had left after 8 years, telling me she needed something more exciting. That sentence echoed in my mind for months like a cruel joke. After that, dating felt impossible. Every conversation felt forced. Every smile felt rehearsed. Rachel was the only person around whom I could be completely myself. She was 32, worked as a nurse at a local hospital, and had the warmest laugh I had ever heard. It wasn't loud or dramatic. It was soft, genuine, the kind that made you feel like the world might actually be okay. We spent countless evenings sitting on our porches talking about everything and nothing. She told me stories about her patients. I told her about my job as an architect. Sometimes we just watched the sunset in silence. But in my mind, she was simply my neighbor, my friend, nothing more. At least, that's what I told myself. Then one day something unexpected happened. A coworker named Olivia asked me out. It was the first time anyone had asked me on a real date since the divorce. My coworkers practically celebrated when I told them. "You need to move on," one of them said. "You deserve to be happy again." Maybe they were right, so I agreed to the date. But when the evening came closer, I found myself standing in my bedroom staring at my closet like it was some kind of puzzle I couldn't solve. Shirt or jacket? Casual or formal? I had no idea. After 15 minutes of frustration, I did what had become my habit whenever life confused me. I walked next door. Rachel opened the door wearing sweatpants and an oversized hoodie, her hair tied loosely behind her head. She looked tired but smiled the moment she saw me. "Marcus," she said warmly, "everything okay?" I scratched the back of my neck awkwardly and held up 2 shirts I had brought with me. "Quick question," I said. "Which one should I wear on a date?" For a moment she didn't react. The smile on her face slowly faded. Her eyes moved from one shirt to the other, then back to me. There was a silence in that doorway that felt heavier than anything I had experienced in years. Finally, she asked quietly, "A date?" "Yeah," I said casually. "Coworker. First one in a while. I figured you'd have better taste than me." She looked at me again, but this time something was different. Her expression held something raw, something wounded, and suddenly her voice wasn't calm anymore. "Marcus, are you serious right now?" I blinked, confused. "Yeah, why?" Then it happened. Her frustration broke through like a dam collapsing. "Are you blind?" she said, her voice shaking. "I love you." The words hit me harder than anything I had heard in years. For a moment, I genuinely thought I had misunderstood. But her eyes told the truth. They were filled with emotion she had clearly been holding back for a long time. "I've loved you for 2 years, she continued quietly, tears forming despite her efforts to hold them back. "I bring you food when you're sick. I check on you every night when your porch light stays on too late. I listen to every story about your day like it matters more than my own." She took a breath, her voice trembling. "And you come over asking what shirt to wear for another woman." In that moment, the world around me felt like it had completely stopped. Memories started rushing through my mind. Rachel bringing me soup when I was sick. Rachel cheering when I finished renovating my living room. Rachel sitting beside me silently the night I admitted how much the divorce had hurt. All those moments I thought were simple kindness. all those moments I never truly saw, because I was too busy protecting my own broken heart. And suddenly I realized something terrifying. The person who had been healing my heart all along was standing right in front of me, and I had almost walked away without ever seeing it. Rachel turned away slightly, wiping her eyes. "I'm sorry," she said softly. "You should go, your date is probably waiting." But my feet wouldn't move. For the first time in years, something inside me finally became clear. It wasn't the coworker who made my life feel warm. It wasn't the idea of moving on, it was Rachel. It had always been Rachel. The late-night conversations, the laughter on quiet evenings, the comfort of knowing someone truly cared whether I came home safe. Without thinking, I placed the shirts down on the table beside her door. "Rachel," I said slowly, my voice unsteady. She didn't turn around. "I think I might be blind," I admitted. That made her look back, but this time her expression was cautious, confused. "What do you mean?" I took a deep breath. "I mean, I was so afraid of getting hurt again that I stopped paying attention to what was right in front of me. The truth was spilling out now. I didn't see how much you cared, and I didn't realize how much I cared about you too." Her eyes widened slightly, not with certainty, but with fragile hope. "Marcus," she whispered. "I canceled the date," I said. Her eyebrows lifted. "You did?" "I just texted her," I explained, holding up my phone. "Because if I went tonight, I'd spend the whole time thinking about the person I actually want to be with." Rachel stared at me like she was trying to decide whether this moment was real or a dream. Before we reach the end of this story, I want to ask you something important. If this moment touched your heart even a little, please take a second to like the video, share it with someone who believes in love, and subscribe for more stories that remind us how powerful human connection can be. But before the ending, I have one special request. Comment the word "open eyes" if you believe sometimes love is right in front of us. We just need the courage to see it. Rachel stepped outside onto the porch. The cool night air wrapped around us as we stood there under the yellow glow of the porch light that had witnessed so many quiet conversations between us. "You really canceled?" she asked again. "I did. Why?" I smiled softly. "Because the best date I could imagine is already standing in front of me." For the first time that evening, Rachel laughed, but this time there were tears mixed into the sound. "Marcus Hale," she said, shaking her head. "You might actually be the most oblivious man in the United States." "Probably," I admitted. Then she did something simple but unforgettable. She took my hand, and in that small moment something inside me finally felt whole again. The walls I had built after my divorce didn't crumble dramatically. They simply faded, replaced by warmth, by trust, by the quiet realization that sometimes love doesn't arrive like fireworks. Sometimes it arrives as the neighbor who brings you soup when you're sick, the person who listens when you're broken, the person who stays when everyone else leaves. Rachel had been that person all along, and the night I asked her what to wear on a date, I finally saw her, not just as my neighbor, not just as my friend, but as the woman who had quietly loved me long enough to heal a heart I thought would never beat the same again. And if this story reminded you that love can exist in the quietest corners of life, please like, comment, and share this video. Your support helps keep these heartfelt stories alive and reaching people who may need them the most. Because sometimes the greatest love stories don't begin with strangers. Sometimes they begin next door.